Metehan, February 4th in Dubai, you are sharing 11 ways to influence ChatGPT and other LLMs. Things that you have been reverse engineering obsessively for the past year. And
Yes.
I'm dying to know, Metehan, what are some of the ways to influence LLMs?
Okay, this is the hot topic at the moment. Everyone is chasing more traffic and conversion from LLMs at the moment. And of course, ChatGPT is the hottest one. And I believe Gemini is following it. But as we know, on the traffic side, every time when I open Google Analytics, I always see ChatGPT on the top on the LLM's side, and I created some custom reporting for it. So, how to influence LLMs at the moment? What can I say at the first? It's like, I guess I will start unfortunately, but it's also nature in the LLMs at the moment, building a consensus. It's really works, and everyone is also sharing many case studies around it. Some of them may be gray hat, I don't know, but especially if you create a listicle or if you include your brand name or your personal brand name in the best or top listicles at the moment, it works really great. And you can also see the effects almost in 24 hours, in the first 24 hours after indexing. So yes, building a consensus works at the moment. Second, content freshness. Content freshness. And LLMs have a recensive bias at the moment. And if you create the most up-to-date and comprehensive uh, document in a very short time period, it also works. And it's actually, I believe, it boosts your AI visibility at the moment. And the third one, I can say, LLMs also have middle in the lost problem. So when you share a longer context, they lost the actual context, middle of the post, middle of the document. So when you create HTML tables, listings with semantic tags, it also works. And it increase your citation rates at the moment. For the rest of it, I will talk some other details at Dubai, but today I will share my knowledge as well.
This method of marketing is so effective, I had to make sure it wasn't against Google's rules before I kept doing it. It's a form of SEO I call compact keywords. Whereas most SEO focuses on putting up articles to answer questions how, what, when, compact keywords focuses on putting up dozens of pages that sell to searchers who are actually looking to buy. These pages rank on Google and convert so much better than normal that when I discovered this years ago, I couldn't believe this was allowed. It's less work too. The average compact keywords page is only 415 words. Compact Keywords is a 13-hour deep course on getting sales with SEO. A customer recently said, "Each lesson is dense with information. You're giving years worth of experience boiled down into 15 to 30-minute lessons with no filler or fluff. I feel like I'm gaining a new superpower." Compact Keywords is about setting up an SEO funnel that brings you sales for years and years and years. It works with AI, it's less work than traditional SEO, and it makes way more money. You can get it now at compactkeywords.com. Back to the podcast. Number 3, can you talk more about that? So you said there's like a context issue.
Yes, of course. Um, as we know, LLMs have some context limits and they can't process thousands of pages of PDF files, HTML files. So if you, at the beginning, if you provide a clear HTML tags or let's say server-side rendering, and we know JavaScript is affecting in a negative way for the AI crawlers. They can't process heavily JavaScript websites. So let's say if you provide a clear semantic structured pages to AI crawlers, LLM crawlers, and if you create not too much longer, I mean, it's not optimal to share a word count, average word count, because it depends for every case, almost every case. But think from a user's perspective. If you are writing a long prompt, let's say it can be structured, you can put some steps in it. Even you, as a person, you can feel you sometimes you lost in the middle of the context. So at the beginning and at the end, you can also check it in your ChatGPT or other LLMs prompt history on your browser. You can realize you give the best context at the beginning and at the end. So LLMs also have this bias at the moment. So if you provide them tables and listings at the middle of the content, they can process it in a better way, and it also increase your citation uh, share of voice percentage in the AI visibility tools at the moment. You can see.
So are you saying basically like an LLM isn't looking at everything on a page, it's looking at the beginning, the middle, and the end, essentially?
At the beginning and at the end is the most attention aware parts of your contents at the moment. I believe it will be better in this year because many AI research teams have very efficient research at the moment for understanding the longer context. But as all we know, LLMs also have some token limits, so they can't process it all, and they have a layout parser at the moment, a user agent. So beginning of your article and end of your article is the most attention aware parts of your page or your
So
content.
how come you're saying put the comparison in the middle of the content?
Yes, based on my experiments, it's affecting in a positive way. So I can see the positive outcomes, especially on the traffic and visibility part.
I want to ask about your experiments in a moment, but is there a certain way to format? You were saying comparison tables. So, like, can you give an example of what like a well
Ah,
done comparison table for an LLM would look like?
yes, it I don't like mentioning or saying it depends, but it depends. So I believe it's tying with the user intent. So if the user intent of the page is about some transactional prompt or topic, comparison tables works well. But if it's informational, let's say, you can also create some listings, bullet points, and also comparison table works well. But what I'm trying to create most of the cases, yes, I can say comparison tables, yes.
Is there well can Do you ever see instances where comparison tables are difficult for LLMs to parse the information in them, where they mix up information because maybe something is like 5 columns away from the y-axis, for example, if you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And you have like a lot of rows, and something's a lot of columns away. You have a lot of rows.
Yes, I don't have a specific formula for that, but I just mm, that's a great question. Thanks. I know.
From the instead of the y-axis, from the left side, so you have it's like you normally comparison tables go from left to right. So you have you have something that's many columns away from the left side and several rows deep. And because this is actually something that I've been thinking a lot about in terms of like very detailed comparison tables. Is it better to do that, or is it better to do bullets?
Both works, but I believe tables are the most efficient way.
Yeah. They're
Tables, yes.
certainly better for users.
Yes, yes.
Unless I suppose it's so much, there's so many columns and rows, then it might actually not be as great. It's funny,
Yes.
kind of the same
And
thing for
yes,
LLMs and for users.
I remember a good case at the moment. I'm running a personal VPN affiliate website at the moment. And some especially on the affiliate side, if you are running any affiliate niche, um, many comparison tables are in the contents and money pages, and it's because of the nature of the ecom site. So if you remember, or if you check any top performing VPN or hosting comparison affiliate websites, those tables formats as are actually good at the moment. What can I say? Just for an example.
That's great. Yeah, actually, this was something that I was talking a lot with Gagan Gotra about, and I think you've talked to him. He gave me a bunch of questions to ask for you, which I'll ask. But
Hi
we
again.
were trying we were yeah, we were trying to figure out though if comparison tables were better or worse for LLMs. So it's interesting to hear because you have this is really something like actually I think now would be a good time to have you share your background and how much research you have done into all of this.
Yes, for my background, I have experience in SEO more than 10 years, a decade now. But since from the 2023, actually, the mid of the year, I guess, I started working with the first version of ChatGPT, the LLMs. And every marketer, I believe, has this emotion and purpose. If I knew how to code, I can create more efficient websites, and maybe I can buy my new Lambo or Ferrari any moment, because I'm struggling to talk and complete new tasks with the developers in the company. So if I know how to code, I can build my own next $1 million idea. So I also had this opinion for a long time, and within the LLMs, I finally have a chance to create my own experiments or websites. I don't support AI slop, by the way. This is very clear. But you can find ways to build your own legacy with using AI, and you can actually produce more outcomes for your personal brand, for your company, or affiliate website, or any niche, etc. So, and I realized that I was working at a company. We were also targeting the US market, and within the search generation, SGE experience, we realized our traffic started to crash just for the testing base. And after that, I realized that, by the way, AI overviews and many AI features isn't roll out in Turkey right now, unfortunately. So on the good side, we're still seeing the 10 blue links with the featured snippets at the moment. But for the other markets, I realized that we were losing traffic, but our impression numbers were going high. So I realized what was happening. So I met with the bunch of AI features and on that moment. So I also love working in a reverse engineering way. So here we are today.
Yeah, and for people who haven't heard of you, Metehan, a lot of very impressive SEO people, like Sean Anderson, who was on the podcast twice now. He's mentioned you a good deal. Like I said, Goggin has mentioned you a good deal, and you're followed on X by some of the biggest names in the industry. You are very legit, and I am so happy to have you on the show. I have a cool question because you have done a lot of experiments for AI visibility, right?
Yes, yes.
So what are some of the most surprising experiments that you have done?
Uh, Starting with an e-commerce website 6 months ago, almost 6 months ago, and we almost had no SEO visibility. Then we started created content, and I need to say I believe in SEO, and I respect everyone who is saying an AEO and GEO is completely different than SEO. Sometimes, it's just about money or market positioning or etc. So I respect them. For my opinion, it's these terms are tying with SEO very close way. So, and at the end of the day, if you don't have any index pages on Google or Bing, you're almost not visible in other LLMs at the moment. And we also know SERP API case at the moment. Google open just fill the case against them. So it connects with the SEO, and I feel like for the AI visibility part, yes, it's very close with the semantics at the moment, and I also believe Google has the best technology ever on the layout parsing part, on the semantic part, for every part, but the generative part is very interesting because it's um, produces probabilistic and non-deterministic results every time. Even you ask the same question, context almost stays the same, but you can see citation are shifting for every time. So, and it's the bad part for SEOs.
It's
And
even more volatile than Google.
yes, unfortunately, yeah. So I deep dive on these experiments, and I proposed a new term. It's not new term actually, but reciprocal rank fusion. Let's say rank fusion. It's very it's actually similar with the query fanouts, and I believe query fanouts will be another hot topic in this year. We already started to talk about it, and some tactics works until if you are the only one who's working on it. Let's say query finance, you found the all content and topic gaps at the moment, and you started to fill it. And it's really interesting. The early companies who started investing in LLM and AI visibility part, they started with filling those content gaps, and many cases are around. But I believe, as I mentioned at beginning hour of talk, building a consensus, yes, filling the content gaps, and the backlink part is still essential because yes, we have a new term named citations, but very similar, almost same approach with the outreach and link building is also essential for the AI visibility.
You mentioned an e-commerce experiment.
Yes, sir. Uh, Almost zero visibility on the SEO part, and we started to fill those content gaps, but we started creating with topic clusters at the beginning, because if I say Edward is the best salesperson in the world,
Oh, that's not
and
true.
yes, that's not true, but but
I can tell you that.
yes, let's say I created a new hot blog post. It's trending, and everyone will search for your name, and they will need to find some supporting documents or information. If it's none, you are not the best salesperson in the world. So it's very similar, and we also released many PR releases. Then it worked.
What are you using
There's
for press releases?
several options, but I will be honest. So the top PR release companies services at the moment, I tried almost all of them, and it helps for your visibility. It also uh, helps. It also helps for connecting entities for your brand. Let's say if you are running a bookstore and if you're selling historical books, there are some entities around it, and with using PR releases, you can actually connect all the entities around your brand, and you can see the effects because it rolls out thousands of web URLs. It helps a lot to build a consensus.
That's great. There's so many different press release services varying in price, and people want to save money. So, which
Yes.
which press release distribution services have you tried, which are like a good price point, but also effective for entity SEO and influencing LLMs?
Yes, there are actually almost same websites in those packages, but I can say AP News and Reuters affects a lot at the moment for the AI
Where
visibility
where where are
and
you where are
trust.
you buying where are you buying your press release distribution from? Are you using PR Log? Are you using PR Newswire? Are you using AB Newswire? I think that's yeah, AB Newswire.
Uh, I can say AIN Press Newswire, yes.
Which one is it?
AIN Presswire. Hold on.
A Presswire. Oh, EIN
E-
Presswire.
EIN,
Uh-huh.
yes.
Okay, cool. And you've used that a lot.
Yes, yes. I can also recommend brandpush.co.
Brandpush.co.
Yes.
Cool.
It's it's
Build instant authority and rank on Google. We write and publish your story on major news sites to build trust and rank your brand on Google and AI. So you've done this. I'm going to view the packages. How much is it?
yes, the brand push is releasing in a
Wow.
created package. So less, if you compare, less number of links, but you can see. I also started using some link platforms like WhitePress and Presswiz.
Oh,
So
Presswiz. Yeah, Charles Float was on the show last week.
yes, I trust.
Mhm.
So it's also effective. The most time consuming part is you need to. Okay, I will share my honest method. I will search manually almost, I guess, 100 times in average for different terms. And I try to compile the listicles from SERPs. Sometimes I'm using data for SEO API. And I create a list of the articles and I search those platforms in WordPress or Presswiz to find it. If I find it, I send them a request for the link placement or adding a new paragraph for my brand. It works.
And this is influencing LLMs as well.
Yes, it
It's
helps to
helping with
create the
consensus.
consensus. Yeah. Yes.
That's cool. What's your actually now I want to ask, like, what's your stack like? Your most trusted tools for doing SEO and for doing AI SEO?
Actually, nowadays I'm always trying to create my own specialized mini tool with using Cursor and Cloud and Gemini, mix of them. Sometimes ChatGPT Codex is also fine, but mostly Cursor. And beside of these AI platforms, I'm using SEMrush, Ahrefs, AO Vision, RTOol, and I also started using SEO, SE ranking, SE ranking. So
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, cool. Goggin wanted me to ask me that. So Goggin had a bunch of questions. He wanted me to ask about backlinks impact on AI SEO, which we've already talked about. He said content optimization strategy to improve AI SEO performance, like content chunking. Is it worth it or not? And I
Hmm.
have my own opinion on this, but I want to hear what you have to say.
Okay, so this is a debate right now,
Which
and
is crazy to me. It's crazy to me that
yeah.
this is a debate, but okay, yeah, go on.
No worries. I love Gogan. And what can I say? I published some posts in the last year about chunking. Okay. Um, from a user perspective, you can see bunch of text won't help your user experience. So
You mean
if
a big
you
block of text is
big
not going to
block of
help your
text,
user experience? Yeah.
yes, and if you create some text parts with some tables, with some bullet points, it also helps to increase your average time on your web pages, which is okay for Google, I believe. So it also it will help to rank higher on some search terms, let's say. And if you rank higher on the search engines, you can be included in the re-ranking process of the LLMs. And it also almost doubles your citation chance in a probabilistic system design. So chunking is a great way to provide better user experience from my perspective. But are there any direct studies mentioning chunking? Okay, we tried chunking, and we doubled our AI traffic. I never see one. Maybe we can see in this year. I'm not sure. But chunking is helping to, I believe, actually to AI user agents. ChatGPT has different bots. Gemini has different bots, even for deep research process. So each of them actually have different layout parsing mechanism. So if you create some great chunks on your page, it will also help to process your maybe long block of text parts. I believe it can be processed faster with
I,
using chunking.
my take is content chunking has always been a best practice for copywriting and SEO. It's something that, like, there's a million studies done on how it improves engagement. readers like it. Nobody likes huge block paragraphs. When I
Yeah.
see a huge block paragraph, it is very hard for me to continue reading. It's very, very challenging. For LLMs, you can literally just copy an entire landing page text, give it to the LLM, and it will do a very, 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 very good job parsing the information on it. Despite it could be one entire line of text, the whole page, and ChatGPT will do just fine. I think content chunking makes sense in terms of chunking the topics because that makes things easier to understand for an LLM. But in terms of like visibly chunking the content for specifically an LLM, it doesn't make a difference. But like you said, it makes a difference for SEO. And when your SEO is improving, you're going to have more visibility in AI. That's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. And what most people actually for what they forget about it, Google is a multimodal search engine. And I also worked on some console cloud experiments. Like you can also create your own website specific, very similar to AI mode or AI overview search engine for your enterprise company. Let's say you have thousands of pages of documents and you need an internal search engine, let's say for your company, for anywhere in the world, for your all branch offices, etc. Google is also selling its own maybe lightweight technology of the search stack, and in the discovery engine product, you can see some settings for the chunking. They have a chunking limit. I'm talking for the Google's discovery engine product, and headings are also traveling with each chunk. So Google has the technology. It can also connect with your headings with your chunks, which is very effective
What
to
does that mean?
understand the
Can
content.
you go deeper into that?
Yes, as we all know, there are some heading structures almost for every web page URL. And Google has a discovery engine product which provides very similar with AI mode and AI overviews for your any enterprise search needed operations. And there is a settings in discovery engine on Google Cloud Console, which is each headings can travel with each chunk. So, which means Google can understand any heading structure if it's tying with the chunk next after heading. So it's a small feature, but what I can learn from this, Google can also connect headings with chunks if it's needed. So so we can even see some these little options on this product. So Google has a really great AI search infrastructure at the moment, and I believe ChatGPT is following the next, or Perplexity. But most of us are just ignoring Google is multimodal, so they can understand if any embedded video on the page and if it's connecting with topic or entity, or they can understand any images on the page. But LLMs, I mean ChatGPT, Perplexity, and others, not Google ones, they mostly follow the text semantics of the page. So I believe that's why Google and John Mueller is saying that time to time, chunking is not an optimal way to optimize your pages for LLMs, for GEO, AEO. Of course, I don't believe every claim or statement from Google.
Yeah, you can't believe
Yeah.
everything.
Yes. Yes.
What are okay? If you talked about this a bit but I'd like you to go deeper, just because, like you said that you spent the last year reverse engineering.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. So, uh, I'm just so curious, like, if you were to share with someone just some of the most surprising findings that would make their jaw drop, like where you were sitting at your computer looking at the results of an experiment and you went, "What? I can't believe that." Like, what would you share?
Okay, for the perplexed part, I guess I can mention it. For the perplexity in their search infrastructure, and they don't have their own LLM model at the moment. They are using ChatGPT, Gemini, Anthropic, DeepSeek, and others. Um, they are using very high embedding similarity threshold for the queries and for the user intent, because it's very dynamic in Google and ChatGPT, but for the perplexity, and I guess I there was a time perplexity was providing better results with using re-ranking in the last year. I guess there were some posts and reviews around it, and what I revealed when I saw the perplexity configuration with listening browser events, they are using very high embedding similarity to catch and satisfy user with finding the best results and re-ranking them. um, the second one, uh, I guess the biggest black box is for me the re-ranking part, because every time just ask same question, and if it's not a cached query or prompt for that time, you can try with a 5 minutes delay asking same question. You can see citations are very dynamic and changing almost every time for the ranking, for the mentioning block in the answer, etc. So it's very uh, dynamic and black box. And even you rank higher at Google or Bing, you can see you are not mentioning in the chat GPT. That was one of the most popular
Really?
cases in the last year. Yes, I talked with a VP of a very big enterprise company. They they were actually dominating the Google and Bing results in the first page. But when we compare the AI visibility of the domain, it was relatively low. So that was very
And do you have any ideas why they weren't being mentioned more in LLMs?
sometimes um, we tried many things in the last summer, beginning of the summer, and what can I say? Sometimes they just needed a part for the creating trust on their pages.
Mm.
Sometimes case studies, or sometimes just running a PR release campaign about statistics, and uh, they were able to create and release any statistic at the moment. So we tried this approach and it worked well.
You know, at the end of the day, doing proper SEO or AI SEO, it's about getting sales,
Yeah,
and it's about converting. And a lot of SEOs forget that SEO is so much more than just the ranking.
yeah,
Because if you
yeah,
have a page that ranks and it's not converting, and it's not helping your top of mind awareness, or it's not building your trust so that people are converting later on, it's not doing any of that stuff. It's not, I mean, maybe you could say, well, it's increasing your topical authority, but you know, that's like so far away. It's you want to be doing things that are going to get you sales. So basically you're saying that you put out press releases and did offsite SEO, and that offsite activity actually increased your AI visibility without really changing much of your existing rankings. Or did it also affect the existing rankings? I actually imagine that it would affect your existing rankings too.
Yes, it also affects the existing rankings in a positive way. But building a very strong SEO fundamentals at the beginning is the
Yeah.
most crucial part, because it also ties with the crawling, accessibility, creating great and satisfying user intent topic clusters on your website for your service pages, money pages, blog contents, even for the glossary part. It also helps for the increasing visibility. Um, so yes, the offsite SEO, link building, or AI citation building, and we didn't even mention Reddit, by the way. So Reddit was the one of the hottest websites for the AI visibility, and unfortunately, we saw many spam cases in the last year. I don't remember an exact one, but
There's a
you can
lot.
smell it. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 You can feel it when you look at the first site. So Reddit is very essential. Now we are talking about Quora, Medium, and I still believe YouTube is very underrated at the moment.
Really, YouTube. Actually,
Yes,
so this was a question from Goggin. He said content platform investment strategy to get better results for AI SEO, like YouTube videos, or spending more on creating high quality blog text content. But yeah, I'm curious about the platforms, the platform investment strategy.
this is a great question. Here comes my exact answer. If you are just running your own website, you are only running one single domain. And for query fanouts, for rank fusion in ChatGPT, for very similar to, let's say, knowledge grab entities, etc., you are only trying to compete with one single domain. But if you manage your own content stack and platforms, you are trying to compete with multiple domains. And I believe this is the best way to show your experience, show your trust, building your trust. And you can also show your or tell your case studies from different content types: video, podcasts, blogs, infographics, etc. So uh,
How about LinkedIn posts, X posts,
yes,
threads, Facebook?
yes, social, yes,
Hmm.
absolutely.
These
I
are
saw,
also being picked up by LLMs.
yes, I saw many X threads at the moment. I can see on my feed at the moment. Facebook groups are gaining more popularity for the parasite SEO
Yeah, yeah.
uh, efforts. So these are these are changing time to time, but it's also very effective if not everyone is working on it. Let's say if you are in a very small group only working on Facebook groups to create some parasite SEO effect, it will work. But if everyone is doing it, it won't work. It also will be very competitive at the moment.
But not everyone is doing it. I mean, even
Yeah.
like it's just so few. It's 2026, and still so few people know how to effectively do parasite SEO. People don't know to take your keyword and to put it at the beginning of your post, put it at the beginning of your video description, video title, like all of these things. People don't know. People like yeah. It's so. I think it's going to be a while before people are even like. I don't even know if people will really ever. SEOs will know, but like the common person, the common business owner will not know.
Yes, in the last year, um, Lily Ray conducted many experiments on the LinkedIn articles. So she
Oh
published
yeah.
a new article and she ranked in the first 24 hours. So it was very effective, and I believe it's still works. But what can I say? If you identify those sources like Facebook groups or Medium or some specific Reddit threads, subreddits on Ahrefs and SEMrush, and it's driving more SEO visibility, it will probably help your parasite SEO efforts. And you can, as I mentioned, you can try to combat with multiple domains with using your brand name. You can use YouTube, and YouTube is very effective. And right now, we also know Instagram Meta allowed Google bot crawl the all entire platform. So using SEO friendly descriptions, text, lists is also effective for AI visibility too.
If you're I have two great questions, but I think I'll ask this one first. If you are consulting somebody on how to actually get more conversions with AI visibility,
Mm.
like specifically not just AI visibility for the sake of AI visibility. Someone wants to get more sales uh, or calls or users with AI visibility.
Okay,
What are you telling them?
still my tactic. I won't share the exact
Come
way
on, give
or
us a sauce, Metehan, please.
yes. I'll um, I always start with gathering more and more questions as I can compile.
With what more
Uh,
questions? What was the word that you used? With getting?
yes, yes. Okay, right. I need to work on my introduction for stealing my tactic right now. So I always start with the questions, real user questions. Where can I get them? And I try to find hundreds of real user questions from my audience where they are active at the moment. And if you use those questions to create some synthetic prompts, or you can also target them, it's your wish or choice, however you want. If you pull up more and more questions from the open web, it helps a lot for the conversion and driving more attributed sales from AI platforms, LLMs at the
What are
moment.
examples of questions?
Uh, eh, any questions? But what I can say, I also group them exact in SEO at the
But
moment.
are these
If
like are these purchase intent questions specifically? Are these questions involving the brand name? Are these
yeah,
non-branded questions? So for example, I spilled red wine on the floor and I'm afraid that it's going to stain. What product should I use to remove it? Like, is it a question like that? Or is it like, uh, is the Comet cleaner? I don't even know what the Comet window cleaner, uh, good for also cleaning mirrors? Like, is it all of those questions? Or is it like a
yes,
specific type? Okay.
I always use almost more than 1,000 questions for every case based on my
And then how are you
experience.
formatted? Are you putting these questions just as like H2s on on a page, and you're doing multiple pages? Are you doing blog posts? Are you doing it in YouTube descriptions?
Uh, First, I create topic clusters around them, then supporting content. Then you can use it in your YouTube description, your in your headings, even it can be your the next video idea on Instagram Reels or TikTok. TikTok is very popular in the US right now. And I see some patterns around some e-commerce topics. TikTok is actually very effective to increase your AI visibility. What I believe is sometimes we, as SEOs or AI visibility people, we don't understand well the social nature, social media platforms. Sometimes there are topics exploding in social, then we can see the search volumes in the search engines or LLMs. So if we can understand the dynamic of these social media platforms, we can even use that platforms to catch some new questions from real users. It helps a lot because you will realize that if you review hundreds of real user questions from the open web, from the social media, you can understand as same as in ChatGPT or other LLMs. Context actually isn't change so much, but it's also needed. You need to niche down as you can. So even a small question can close a sale.
Niche down as in make the questions more long tail,
Yes, yes,
more specific. Yeah. When so you do audits like AI visibility audits for companies, right?
yes.
When you are doing an AI visibility audit for a company, what do you start with?
Great question. First, I start crawling the website with using mostly Screaming Frog. So it's very flexible for me. I use custom JavaScripts with using AI APIs. So I start with the crawling, the current health situation of the website, sometimes broken links, or just identifying the missing content gaps, the topic clusters, or if a bot is struggling to crawl the next pages.
How are you
Let's say
how are you identifying topic clusters or like missing topic clusters?
I'm using custom JavaScript for that. I didn't
Okay.
share in the
Hmm.
public, but first I export the crawl results, then put it on Google Drive, and trying to process the all custom JavaScript output from AI APIs to identify the topic cluster gaps.
Okay.
I store with the crawl. Then I the best part and the most time consuming part is creating the topics, because every embedding model of LLM has different topics and understanding context at the moment. Gemini has different embedding model, ChatGPT, Anthropic, and others different embedding model, and you can think they're working like a corpus at the moment. So understanding of each entity and each topic is sometimes different than others. So I start asking some questions about brand, and it's mostly structure, prompt templates, and trying to understand how their visibility in the uh, core embedding model. Then I compare with the topic clusters, and of course, I continue with the reviewing real user questions from the web, and I trying to niche down as I can. Then compare the results and start creating a strategy around it. It can be about query fanouts, missing content gaps, or identifying some opportunities for the uh, link building or AI citation building part or Reddit part.
Do you think do you think AI visibility strategies are changing rapidly, or do you think do you think there's really just like a set strategy that has been working since ChatGPT was released December 2022?
It's changing very fast. Sometimes I just can't. I just want to argue with them about how changing is fast in a very dynamic way. I mean the OpenAI team, Google team, etc. But right now, OpenAI announced a new health app in ChatGPT. So it's like your money, your life situation at the moment. I didn't experiment with play it with well for the citations or medical suggestions. So besides of this, right now we have some new agentic protocols at the moment. There is a shopping research in ChatGPT, and Google announced UCP yesterday, which
How
looks
much have
like
you looked into the Universal Commerce Protocol?
it looks great, but many of SEOs are also mentioned that I believe it's also aligning with the merchant feed at the moment. So if you're technically crawlable and if you provide your product information with the most detailed way, in a structured way, probably it will help a lot for the universal protocol at the moment. But
Yeah,
I didn't read the all details.
okay.
But when I read the general news and some uh, official blog posts for it, and we know Google now has a new approach. They release a new blog article or video for their newest features. So based on my understanding, the technical part is very important, and I didn't like it. Yes, it's useful for users, for me, but it also, I believe, it will eliminate the website part in the future, because why do we need to have websites for agentic protocols if we can only provide some agentic commands, checkouts, and product feeds? I don't know. We'll
I
see.
think it'll be. I've been talking about this. I was talking about it with Goggin on our holiday show actually, but I think at first it's going to be a pretty steep learning curve, and then it's just all going to happen at once. Is because like a lot of people still are not going to trust an agent to do their shopping with their credit card, and like that's just the truth. And then what'll happen is like, oh, it'll start working really well. A friend will be like, this is great. Show the friend. You see it from another friend. Okay, I got to try. Wow, this really is good. And now you're telling other people, and now everyone is doing it because it's working so well. But that could be a while from now. And then also, like, some people just like browsing. Some people like clicking around and looking. And it's like, it's the difference between going to a supermarket and just like scrolling in your phone and picking out items. Like there is a different feeling going to a supermarket and like looking at these like shiny vegetables or packaged meats and being like, oh my gosh, if I buy this, I could combine it with this and then I could make this and that'd be like, I personally actually like going shopping. I like going grocery shopping. I like cooking and there's like a, but yeah, I don't know. It's I think I still think we're like a ways away from agents like dominating this. Um yeah. And also it's important to note like this the UCP was developed with Shopify. So I also think a lot of merchants they're not really going to have to do anything extra. It might be like a
Yeah.
setting that you tick on, but it's like if you are using one of the most common solutions for e-commerce, you are not really going to need to do anything extra
Yeah.
because like the developers are going to handle all of that.
Yes. Yes. And Google has another advantage here because they know how to parse a layout, how to click an add to cart button, how to make how to complete a transaction. because we are sending these data as we e-com website owners to Google directly with using Google Ads, and more than 20 years, I guess. So, and if you see the market situation at the moment, yes, it's very exciting, but please, we need to also remember these generative AI part is disruptive. Yes, that's correct. But it's also killed news websites, recipe websites. So we don't know what's next for the ecom
I don't actually.
part.
I'm gonna disagree with you on that. I don't. It partly killed news websites, but TikTok killed news websites too. So did YouTube.
Yes,
So did
yes,
Instagram.
yes,
A lot of people
yes,
like to blame the decline in clicks for news websites on just AI, which is so false. Like so many people get their news from YouTube and from TikTok and from X and from Threads.
yes. That's correct. It's also connecting with the where your audience also live in. So if they're just watching new videos always in TikTok, it's fine. So I believe you also need to open an account and show your brand there as well as your website. But for the Google parts, I agree with your opinions. It's all correct, but for the most of the part, it Google is behaving like a very monopolic way, so which I don't like it. Of course, I love Google. I love using it tech, but sometimes they are pushing more on the independent website owners or webmasters or indie developers. That's why I'm trying to tell.
Have you done any purchases with agents?
Not yet.
Are you
I'm I'm
using
in I'm in Turkey. Sorry,
mm,
I'm in Turkey, and I need to use VPN to
mm,
access some new features, because for the local feeds, it still needs to be developed. Yeah.
a lot of people are afraid of agents taking like people aren't going to go to websites anymore. But and I've asked this to a few people, are you shopping with agents? And they all say no.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, which to my point. Now, I'm not saying it's not going to come. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it's going to be. I think it's going to be steep. It's going to kind of be like a hockey stick curve, where it's like everyone's not going to do it, and then suddenly, I hurt my wrist in the gym, and I had a bandage on yesterday, and I
Sorry for you.
snapped my fingers. Yeah, but then it's all going to come at once, just like that. Are you using agents for anything else? For like research, for SEO, for
Yes, a
content?
lot.
Oh yeah,
A lot.
great,
For
great. What are you
almost
doing?
every point of SEO research. I can also recommend the Alibaba's deep research tool. It's open source. I will share the link with you, and we can put in video description.
Please.
I sometimes I'm um, not regular basis, but I'm trying to use deep research time to time to collect some new user pain points about SEO, about AI visibility, ChatGPT rankings, rank trackers, etc. I'm using deep search for SEO purposes a lot. Directly from ChatGPT, Gemini, Cloud, Perplexity, all others. And my favorite tool so far is Cursor. Playing with
Mm,
APIs
yeah,
is
yeah,
really
yeah.
nice. And the most challenging part is scraping. It's like we are now living early 2010s at the moment. Scraping is becoming very essential, surprisingly and not surprisingly. But scraping, I never experienced before in this level so far. It's actually very challenging. They are blocking everywhere.
So
Your own.
are you able to get around it?
Yes, I am rotating top and well-known user agents in my crawlers. So if anyone of that is getting blocked by Reddit, I'm trying to use something else. I'm rotating them, but still getting blocked. So
All right, this is my last question, Metehan, and you've been great. Thank you again for coming on the show. My last question is, so we talked about a lot of things on this episode for improving AI visibility, but if you were to narrow it down to one thing that people should do after this episode to improve their visibility in LLMs, what would you advise people?
okay, great. Um, the best way, sorry, the quickest way is checking your content freshness. First, check your content freshness, and especially for the last 180 days, I mean 6 months, is actually think like a booster score. If you update your content and republish it without changing your URL, you can see the effect, and try to use more questions end of your content.
Try to use more questions at the end of your content.
Yes, FAQs.
Okay. Are you doing FAQs with schema? Are you doing FAQs with H2s? Are you doing like the typical accordion FAQ?
Mostly H3 and H4, and in a text format, not in schema.
Very good answer. Yeah, very good answer. Actually, while we're on that topic, I know I said that previous question was my last question, but I did want to ask you because you were talking about how harmful JavaScript can be for AI visibility. And there are web developers who listen to this podcast, or
Mm-hmm.
people who are just making their own sites with client side rendering. And
Yes.
yeah, so I would love for you to talk about this.
Um, I'm working hard on this AI stuff more than a year. I guess it's almost 3 years at the moment. Of course, I'm still learning. But what
We all
I
are.
realized, yeah, what I learned and experienced, I start playing with some GitHub scripts. So please check your CMS or stack on GitHub for look for some SEO related packages and test them, implement them with your marketing team. So there are some great React components, Vue.js components for also increasing the server side rendering as possible. So you can also check some services like pre-render, and maybe you can also think about creating your possible pages to HTML static formats. So start research on your research on GitHub, then look for other suitable solutions so you can increase your crawlability for AI engines.
Actually, so the question that I asked before, you advised on page stuff, you advised an FAQ, and what was the thing that you advised before the FAQ?
Before the FAQ, at the end, I also suggested comparison tables, and just
No,
before
no, no. When
FAQ.
I when I asked what was the one thing that everybody should do? So you said
Yes, yes, content refresh.
yeah,
Uh,
content refresh. So updating actually just like making sure the content is up to date, and then
yes,
updating the
up to
date
date.
published and submitting it to
Yes,
Google Search Console.
yes, I published a blog post for this topic, and some researchers from I guess Japan, they tried to rank some documents with using AI as a re-ranker, and they didn't change anything but the dates. So the fresh dates and close dates ranked higher for most of the cases.
Yeah.
So they have a recency bias at the moment and use the last 6 months advantage.
You do see that. You see that in the query fanouts as well. They're appending the year in the query. The LLMs a lot of the time will append the year in query fanouts. You'll say what is like the best. Yeah.
It also affects grounding. So if you have what is the best X in the 2026, it will be grounded. I mean, the LLMs will use web search and you can see the results. So there are some also pre-configured patterns for the content freshness part. You can even identify in query fanouts.
I think one huge takeaway from this episode as well is just the importance of reputation management and thinking about how your brand appears when you are doing link building or when you're being mentioned in any publication, like what language is being used to, because like we've been talking about, consensus is important. So what language is being used to discuss your brand and your products and your services across the web?
Yes, and I need to also mention that there are actually big opportunities for the global scale companies because I live in Turkey. I'm sometimes asking some Turkish questions and millions of people. Turkey is leading for the ChatGPT usage in the world right now. So ChatGPT isn't successful like in English. I mean the sentence types, the user satisfaction, and you can even realize some there e-commerce websites from United States are recommending by ChatGPT, which is not possible for Turkey. So for other languages, global websites have also another advantage, and we need to see the improvement of these systems for other languages as well for this year, hopefully.
Metehan, thanks again for coming on the pod. Where should everybody find you and follow you and consume your awesome stuff?
My personal blog, metehan.ai, but feel free to reach me out anytime on X and LinkedIn.
Yeah. Yep.
We
You are
can
very active.
drop the links.
Absolutely. Your links will
Okay.
be 100%. Your links will be in the description for this and anything else that you want to share too. If you watched this episode on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. If you listened on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, thank you so much for listening. This is episode 923 of The Edward Show. 923 days in a row doing this podcast. This is going to be an exciting week, actually. Tomorrow, I am supposed to have Jackie Chu and Lars Lofgren coming on the podcast together, which is going to be crazy. And then on Thursday, I have David Quaid and Jake Hundley coming on the podcast as well to talk about schema and whether or not it's important. It's going to be an exciting week. Yeah. So thank you all so much. And thanks again to Metehan. And I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.